Hello, my good people. How are you doing today? Dominic here. Yes, so today I want us to talk about something. Today I read on social media platforms about two cases. One was about a guy called, I know all of you maybe know him, he's a comedian. He has gone public about his condition, a Kuku danger. He's a guy who's battling with sickle cell disease that he has had since childhood, since it's a genetic condition. There's another guy, also who's battling with the condition. Both of them, they said they have been in and out of the hospital due to different complications associated with the sickle cell disease. Painful crisis, infections. At some point, Akude just said that he had complications of lung collapse, right? So, one of the other guy said that he even wishes that he dies. So unfortunate because of the pain and suffering that he has endured for the years that he is living with the condition. Well, they might be having this problem, but there's one thing we want to talk about. Have you heard about genetic counseling and testing? Well, what do we mean by this? Basically, you need to understand what are genetic conditions and how do they come about. Basically, these are the conditions that run in families. You find that in a family tree, there are people who are having sickle cell disease, some having some conditions that are inherited. When you talk about genetic conditions, these are conditions that are passed from one generation to another through inheritance. It's in the genes, right? One of it is sickle cell disease. So, sickle cell disease, in a way or the other, if you have sickle cell disease and you get to get married or you have kids with another person who has sickle cell disease, you'll end up having kids who have sickle cell. Or the two of you, if you are carriers, right? For instance, the mother is a carrier, the father is a carrier. There is a probability that you may have kids who are sickle cell, right? So how do you break the chain of these conditions? That's where now we talk about genetic counseling and testing. For instance, if you're a carrier for sickle cell, in one way or the other, you need not to have a child with a person who is also a sickle cell or a carrier, because you may end up having your children have these conditions. How do you break this chain? Is by doing genetic counseling. So what do we mean by genetic counseling and testing? So basically, genetic counseling gives information about the genetic conditions that may affect your life, your children, your pregnancy, and the rest of the things. So before you commit yourself into a relationship, into marriage, into getting pregnant, into giving birth, you need to have this kind of genetic counseling and testing. For instance, if you are a sickle cell person or you are a carrier, make sure your partner is also tested for the same. The problem is sometimes when you're a carrier, you may not know that you have this problem because you live normal life. When you are a carrier, actually, you're normal, you don't inhibit or exhibit any symptoms. But what happens is that if you're a carrier and you get another carrier as your partner and you get kids, you may end up having this problem of having children who are sickle celled, right? It's not only sickle cell, but there are very many other conditions. But I'm taking sickle cell as an example. So, guys, make sure at this age and era, we advise that people get genetically tested, especially if you, in your family, you have conditions that are inherited, be it sickle cell, be it other conditions. Sometimes some cancers run in the family, diabetes run in the family, right? Or some conditions like hemophilia run in the families and the likes. So it's a high time people embrace genetic counseling and testing so that we break the chain of conditions that are inherited in the families, right? So it was so sad to see this young man talk about that he feels he wants to end his life because he has suffered a lot due to painful crises in and out of hospitals with complications. But that is the message I'm passing to you today. Genetic counseling and testing. It's high time people will embrace this phenomenon so that we break the chain of genetically inherited conditions. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Otherwise, health is wealth. Bye.